Now I proceed to agenda item 5, the address by the President of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, and give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Pere Joan Pons San Pietro, the President of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly. You have the floor, sir.
Madam Chair, distinguished ministers, distinguished delegates, we meet at a turning point, and we live in a time of paradoxes. In Ukraine, Europe faces the gravest threat to its security and to international law this century, the full-scale invasion of a sovereign nation. In Gaza, in the Mediterranean, the past 2 years have revealed humanity's darkest face. These tragedies are not isolated, they are interconnected. They show that the global security order is undergoing a profound shift. For too long, we believed that liberalism, multilateralism, and globalization would naturally deliver more peace, more democracy, more progress. Today we know nothing is guaranteed. And yet, amid uncertainty, one truth becomes clearer than ever. In a fractured world where trust erodes and force too often replaces argument, dialogue is the only road to peace. As we mark the 15th anniversary of the Helsinki Final Act, we remember its courage. Not naivete, courage. The courage to speak when speaking was difficult. The courage to build security through principles, rules, and cooperation. Because without dialogue, peace is impossible. Security remains elusive. And what is this organization if not a permanent space for dialogue to prevent conflict and to protect people, our people? Dobbiamo a chi ci ha preceduto l'onore di custodire quella visione, aprendo spazi per il dialogo, rafforzando i nostri strumenti e affermando che le controversie devono essere risolte con la concordia e mai con la guerra. Helsinki taught as a fundamental lesson. Security is not born from silence, but from open channels, even with those who stand far, really far from our moral horizon. The 1 million citizens the Parliamentary Assembly represents want to feel safe, live ordinary lives, to love, to work, to dream. So our duty is to give them the security through dialogue, so they can have hope. Ministers, allow me to be clear. If we want to rebuild security in our region, we need at least 4 urgent decisions. Restore the OSCE operational capacity and the toolbox that we have at our disposal, protect the rules-based European security architecture, reopen structured spaces for responsible dialogue, and of course, as the chair said, we need a unified budget. Because without the budget, the OSCE cannot act properly, and millions of citizens remain unprotected. Each delay weakens our missions, slows mediation, and undermines our credibility. Today, it is in Ukraine that the defense of European democracy is being upheld with the greatest resolve. And as I expressed in my address to the Verkhovna Rada in October, I'm a firm supporter of a sovereign, democratic, European Ukraine. Support of its territorial integrity, its right to defend itself, and its right to negotiate peace on its own terms. Nothing about Ukraine can be decided without Ukraine, and the red lines are clear. The future of Ukraine has to be decided by and with Ukrainians. Recent statements from the Kremlin dismissing peace efforts and threatening Europe only strengthen our resolve. And we also demand the immediate release of Dimitro, Maxim, and Vadim, OSCE workers, unjustly detained for the crime of serving under our flag. Our principles must apply everywhere. This is why in our Parliamentary Assembly we condemned the October 7th Hamas attacks, and why we also condemn atrocities and potential acts of genocide in Gaza. International humanitarian law is not optional. Accountability must be universal, without double standards. From Georgia to the South Caucasus and Central Asia, the OSCE must remain a bridge. When red lines are crossed, when opportunities emerge. In Georgia, we defend freedom of expression, the right to protest, and the democratic process, while keeping dialogue open. In Armenia and Azerbaijan, steps towards reconciliation are underway. It's really good news. And the OSCE stands ready to support lasting peace. In Central Asia, cooperation is essential for long-term security, economic resilience and stability. Dans nos démocraties, répondre aux besoins immédiats des citoyens est essentiel. Quand les institutions échouent, le populisme prospère, la méfiance s'étend et les forces qui érodent la démocratie, la désinformation, la haine, l'extrémisme prennent racine. C'est pourquoi notre sécurité commence par la vérité, par des processus électoraux protégés et par la résistance à la manipulation numérique. Protéger et défendre la démocratie dans notre région n'est pas seulement une responsabilité, c'est un investissement pour l'avenir. C'est pourquoi j'exhorte tous les États participants à renforcer leur soutien financier à l'Assemblée afin d'accroître nos capacités d'observation et de garantir que nos démocraties résistent aux attaques autoritaires. From Vancouver to Vladivostok, elections must be defended against cyber attacks, disinformation, and manipulation. Because democracy without security is fragile, and security without democracy is a boutade. Climate change cannot wait, and growth must be shared and must be green. The energy transition must include everyone. And there will be no global security, dear colleagues, without a fair climate and energy transition. Finally, let us not forget the great revolution of our century, the revolution of women. And men must co-lead it, now more than ever, when so many women are attacked simply for being women. 60% of our new appointments are women since I took office in July. And this is trust, conviction, justice, equality, and democracy in action. Permítanme concluir con una idea esencial, fundacional. El diálogo no es una debilidad, es nuestra mayor fortaleza y puede convertir el miedo en estabilidad, la confrontación en convivencia y la incertidumbre en esperanza. Este precisamente es el mensaje de Helsinki. Esta es la responsabilidad que nos exigen nuestros ciudadanos, a los que, por cierto, representamos y son los que nos pagan por estar aquí. Y esta es la decisión que deben tomar aquí en Viena, con los argumentos o con la fuerza de los argumentos, no con los argumentos de la fuerza. Muchísimas gracias, Madam Chair.